What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, political Pegasus here, bringing back to you guys in Remnant from the Ashes, and today I'll be taking an all-new look at my build, known as the Chaos Inferno. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so we're going to jump over into the character sheet here. So the handgun I'm using is known as the Spitfire, attached onto his weapon mod known as Flamethrower. It is a non-removable mod. For the primary weapon, I'm using the shotgun. For the weapon mod attached onto it is known as Hotshot. For the melee weapon, I'm using Smolder. For the armor pieces, I'm using the helmet, which is One Piece Cultist. Then I'm using the chest, which is going to be Chaos Carapace. And then I'm using a Chaos Grievous for the pants. For the necklace, I'm using the Charcoal Necklace. For the first ring, I'm using Burden of the Follower. For the second ring, I'm using Bright Steel Ring. Now, enough about that. Let's go ahead and jump over into traits. Now, I can give you the rundown of what traits you should be looking out for at the end of the day, but to be honest with you, I'm going to let you guys in a little trait secret. Just get them all. Honestly, there's no cap limit within the course of the game. It min-maxes your build, makes you more efficient. It just ends up having it a lot better in the long run, and everything synergizes so well with one another. And since there is no set cap limit, there shouldn't be a reason why you shouldn't be going for every trait in the course of the game in the first place. So with all that being said, just focus on what you can go about grabbing at that given moment and just level them up naturally, and it will tie into all of the builds that I can present to you within the course of my channel, as well as the builds that I've already presented to you within the course of my channel thus far. But enough about that. We're going to go ahead and get into some gameplay, and I'll show you what this build is all about. Alright, so we're here on Earth. We're playing on Nightmare mode, so I'm going to give you my overall thoughts, ideas, and genuine build breakdown in regards to the build that I have in front of you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So, I ended up going for an elemental type of build that you can go about seeing here, and if you haven't guessed it already, the element I chose was fire, because who doesn't like incinerating stuff? So I went with the Spitfire naturally because I wanted to have a flamethrower on my arsenal just to be able to incinerate stuff and watch the world burn. And as I went about doing so, I also got the ability to proc the flame perk, which allowed me to go about doing damage over time to any enemies that are set ablaze, which is freaking awesome because it works for great single target damage, AoE damage output, and just downright being awesome. It ends up just looking fantastic. So with that being said, that's why I ended up choosing the Spitfire. Plus, it also makes a really good choice for like a submachine gun type of arsenal, so I can go about utilizing it for mid to close range based combat, and it works really, really well. And it also is a great weapon for transitioning over to something that you can really rely on at the end of the day. So it works out best in my favor, especially with the whole theme of the build that I was kind of going for. The next weapon I ended up selecting was going to be the shotgun. The shotgun I ended up selecting was because of the fact that I wanted something close range to tie into Burden of the Follower, just because of the fact that I lost way too much fire rate potential with Burden of the Follower, so I couldn't use any high fire rate based weapons because the damage would just drop off. So I ended up using a single target based weapon, and what better one than the shotgun. So I ended up going with that and just tying Hotshot into it, and oh my god, it does so much damage. Not only does it do so much damage, but also applies the burning effect once again, like Spitfire does, but it does such a high damage impact tied into it, and then from there I can literally one-shot my opponents and then just watch them burn alive until they're dead, and it's freaking amazing, and it's so much fun. Because it's one of those things where, as you notice throughout the course of the gameplay, I'm just running and gunning. I have no sense of care in the world in regards to what's going on, what's happening. All I know is I want to light stuff on fire, and I want to watch the world burn at the end of the day, and this build is great for that. Speaking of watching everything burn, the sword is freaking incredible. The sword gives you the option to go about utilizing pretty much the AoE cleave potential, so you can hit like 2 to 3 enemies at once with one cleave on the sword, but then you can also ignite them as well, and it just looks freaking awesome. And it's one of those weapons that really synergizes build so well together when playing a pyro-based build, because it just looks incredible and it fits the whole theme of the burning concept. So at the end of the day, it works out so well. And as you can clearly see here too, I'm just mowing down my enemies. I dropped Gorfist's health bar by a good chunk within the course of like less than 10 seconds of even being in this fight. And that's not an easy feat to do, especially on Nightmare mode, and I felt it was very, very easy. Even with the shotgun here, you can see that I'm chunking him continuously. I think Hotshot is definitely a mod that is very underestimated at the end of the day, and I need to do some more experimenting with it. But yeah, this build is a lot of fun. This whole run and gun burning style type of setup was a lot of fun at the end of the day. I always had uptime on my mods. I always had the ability to keep things ablaze. I had great single target damage output, great AoE potential. I also have really good reload potential and maneuverability because I have the bright steel ring active. I can just literally roll out of the way continuously and get the fastest roll within the course of the game. It just works out so well. But yeah, at the end of the day, I ended up choosing the armor I did because I wanted the extra damage output and I thought it looked awesome. But yeah, that's going to be pretty much it, guys, with this build. Give it a shot. Let me know what you think. Post it down below in the comment section. And if you guys aren't having a good day, I hope you guys have one later on in the future. And with that being said, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. And I hope to see you guys real soon. Later.